Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I know, Tomb Raider, it's coming. I'm working on a Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is gonna be really good. That's gonna be dedicated for Friday. Friday all day long is gonna be a Tomb Raider. I'm gonna have two different versions. I'm gonna have the PC version and the Xbox One X version, and then I'm gonna do a comparisons between the both, just to show you the difference between 2016p versus the native 4K DirectX 12 and tessellations on with DirectX 12, stuff like that. I'm also going to try to mimic PC version to Xbox One X version with the same settings to see what exactly did Xbox One X use to achieve that kind of fidelity. It'll be an interesting video. It'll be a bunch of tests. So that's tomorrow. Lara Croft, it's tomorrow. It's Friday. It's going to be an interesting day for the Tomb Raider. So here we are on Sony X900e, my 55-inch Sony X900e television. Now, before we get into this is Forza Horizon 4 demo for those of you, who are not familiar with this game. There's a couple of things I want to mention. I want to say something regarding my video yesterday. YouTube contacted me and they said, your video is age restricted. And I was like, no kidding. Of course it's age restricted. And of course there's language involved. If you read the title, it clearly says explicit language. It clearly says adult language warning, And I told them, if you watch through that video, yes, I did cuss a lot and I did use harsh words, but I never threatened anybody. What I simply said is, people who harass me are not welcomed, and they are cancer, and they will be blocked worldwide. I don't care where they live, I don't care where they are cancer, whatever they are. And I clearly acknowledge that. That's me just acknowledging me, letting them know that they're not welcomed. So that way they know in the future I don't care about them. And it's like the last time I will address these cancers for the last freaking time. Now, as far as YouTube, let me tell you something about YouTube. This is exactly why people are having a difficult time with you, YouTube, because of your favoritism, because of your agenda that you have that moves towards one side and leaves all the other sides alone. That's not democracy, number one. If you're just strictly looking at one side and censoring the other side, okay, that's not democracy, number one. Number two, if you want to talk about being equal and fair, maybe you should look at your YouTube overall community and the individuals out there that they are able to create fake accounts with bunch of joint emails with the same exact email to create dozens of accounts and go around and harass people. Why don't you look into that? If you're reviewing this video on YouTube, why don't you go into that? Go into that and look into that. Okay? Maybe you should look into that. The amount of fake individuals that you have on the YouTube community. Millions of them. Are you doing that? No, you're not doing that. You know what you're doing? You're collecting the freaking cash, putting it in your pockets so that you can go to your fake yachts and your fake bouage, whatever big houses that you have, so you can drink your drinks with your fake friends. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Me, I'm the real person. I speak the truth. No one's gonna censor me. Okay? Why? Because my subscribers, they support me. And they know who I am. And they understand that I speak the truth. Everything I say, it's truth. But for some reason, you guys don't want to hear the truth. The truth, it's not that important to you. What's important to you is your guidelines, which are totally absurd with an agenda. Your guidelines have an agenda. That's what your guidelines have. Certain agenda that supports certain groups, while the other groups that get totally squished away. How many Jordan Peterson videos have you guys blocked? How many Jordan Peterson videos have you guys blocked so far? Even Joe Rogan talked about this. Why? Because Jordan Peterson has an opinion, a constructive opinion that matters. Anyway, that's all I have to say about YouTube as far as YouTube is being concerned. All right, now let's get back into 930e. I had to address that elephant in the room. So if YouTube is reviewing this video, well, now you know. There you go. Maybe you should do a better job. Do a better job of running your company. So that way you don't end up on a congressional hearing like Facebook did. All right? So you don't end up on that. Because people are going to ask you questions. Why are you censoring certain people but not other people that have opinion? Democracy, it's made so that way everyone's freaking opinion freaking matters. That's democracy. And if you're not honoring that democracy, then you are not democracy. What you are, it's an agenda. All right? So I don't give a shit if you like this video. I don't care if this video gets blocked or if this video gets censored. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for my subscribers. So that way you guys understand. Maybe you should work on your YouTube community better. If you want to create a healthy YouTube community, maybe you should work on that. Give everyone a chance to express their opinions. But no, we don't like your opinion because you're not being attached to the strings of puppeteering. Not me. No one has strings attached to me, okay? I'm using my First Amendment, freedom of speech, whether you like it or not. Let's move on. Now that I have got that out of the way and addressed the elephant in the room, now let's move on with Sony X900e. First of all, Sony X900e is still a great TV. You know, is 930e better? 930e, it's a little bit better version than 900e. It's not like a drastic difference. You know, a lot of people out there seem to, you know, make this, they like to make things sound bigger and better than they are. Yes, X1, X processing chip, extreme processing chip, it's, of course, faster than the previous chip that's on 900e. So, of course, the extreme processing chip will do much better latency, will do much better motion flow. But in terms of picture quality overall, it's not going to be a drastic difference, guys. Sure, there's some differences in terms of local dimming, in terms of color gamut, but it's not like drastic difference. Yes, it does have Dolby Vision. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy 930e. If you have the money to buy 930e, go ahead and buy 930e. But if you can't find 900e for a cheaper price, then you should go with the 900e, okay? But it's, just remember, it's not a drastic difference between the two. I know people like to favor their horse because they spend money on it, but I'm being unbiased here. I'm telling you. I have a bunch of TVs, man. I don't need a 930e. I got a truckload of TVs. And I've seen 930e. Yes, it's better, but it's not a drastic difference. Okay, let's move on. Alright, so the first thing you're going to see, sorry about this 9 minutes, I had to get that out of the way. I had to talk about that. I have to address that elephant in the room for the YouTube so that way they can review this video. HDR white points. I already mentioned this. I already talked about this. HDR white points are basically your white digital levels. And the best way to keep your white digital levels, it's right here in the middle. Keep it in the middle. And your HDR brightness is basically you brightening up your black digital levels. So how much of the black digital's levels do you want to brighten up? Well, you want to keep it at 50, because you see, when I go all the way high, everything becomes brighter. And when I go down, everything becomes more dimmer. So this right here, HDR brightness, it's your black digital levels. And this right here, it's your white digital levels. So the best thing to do is keep them both equal. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. Because you already have your brightness, your backlit set to maximum, and your contrast set to maximum, which I'm going to show you in a minute right here. As you can see, there's HDR there. It's running in HDR. I'm currently running a game mode. Let me show you my advanced settings. You can see right here, brightness, meaning backlit. Backlit, it's set to maximum. Contrast is set to maximum. Black levels are set to 50. So you already have backlit and contrast set to maximum for HDR. So there's no reason for you to mess around with these two sliders that I just pointed out. Leave those two sliders at 50 in the middle. Because if you go with the HDR white point a little bit higher, then you're going to be overblowing your white bright levels, and then you won't be able to see the detail in the sky. So you got to be careful with that. All of these, I keep it at high. This is part of the X processing chip. And the same exact features you will see on the 930e. You will see all of these features on the 930e. The only difference is 930e has a little bit higher local dimming, has a little bit better color gamut, and the processing chip, it's a little bit faster. So therefore, obviously, it's going to look a little bit better on the 930e, but it's not a drastic difference. This is coming from unbiased person. I know people who bought it, they want to say all good things about it. They want to write novels about it. I understand that. You want to justify your purchase. But it's not drastic difference. It does have Dolby Vision, but it's not drastic difference. I'm sorry. I'm just got to tell you the way it is. And I know you guys are going to defend your television, but I have to tell people the truth. Because I'm not favoring one or the other. I just have to tell the people the truth, the way it is. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this like some other guy that's sponsored by television electronics shop that tells them, hey man, can you push the sales for the OLED and don't push the sales for the Samsung? We need to sell the OLED this month. We can do the Samsung on November. And he'll say, yes, I'm the professional calibrator. I will help you. Here's the thing. I want to say something about sponsors YouTubers. I don't have a problem you being sponsored if your sponsor has nothing to do with what you are advertising on your video. What I mean by that is this. If you are somebody, let's say Tech of Tomorrow. Tech of Tomorrow does, which I love that channel, he does videos about graphics cards and the PC. But, he's not sponsored by graphics card companies. So there's no conflict of interests. He's sponsored by keyboard companies, other companies that has nothing to do with the graphics cards. The problem with the HD TV test is the fact that he's sponsored by Electronic TV Shop. That creates the conflict of interest because his channel, it's all about televisions. And then he's sponsored by the company that sells televisions. That's conflict of interest. That's why I have a problem with that channel. There you go. Now let's move on. As far as the color, leave it at 53. As far as the clarity, sharpness, 34. Motion flow, I turn this off. Man, I never use this. I always turn this off. And video options, guys, always select everything on automatic. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep everything on automatic. Let the television communicate via your HDMI and your device and your television to decide the best possible quality. And of course, last but not least, I use a neutral color temperature, balanced tone of color. And this is what you're supposed to use, a balanced tone of color. Now let's go play this game a little bit, shall we? Oh, this looks beautiful. I love it. So hopefully that answers your questions for somebody who's been asking me, do I have a problem with the sponsored YouTubers? I don't have a problem with YouTubers being sponsored by a company that has nothing to do with what their channel is all about. But if your channel is all about televisions and you're being sponsored by a company that sells televisions, that's a conflict of interest. To me, that creates a problem. You cannot be honest about televisions if you have a company that wants you to push the sales of a certain brand. And then they tell you, okay, use some technical jargon and tell them why they should go and buy an OLED and they should stay away from the QLED. That creates the conflict of interest, in my opinion. Okay? And yes, this is my opinion, in case some of you are wondering. But that creates the problem. So if you want to get a sponsor, hey guys, I don't care you getting a sponsor and making money. I understand you got to survive. I'm not like against people making money. But if you are being sponsored by a company that's a TV company and you're all about the televisions, your channel's all about the televisions, well, that's a problem. If your channel is all about projectors and you're being sponsored by projectors company that sells variety of brands, well, guess what? You're going to say that every projector is good. And the people are going to say, well, how am I supposed to know which one to buy? You told me in the previous video I should buy this projector. And now you're telling me no. Go with the ViewSonic. ViewSonic's a really good projector too. Go with Optima. Don't forget the ViewSonic. Go with the Optima, guys. Guys, make sure you hit that like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you please donate. Okay? This video is sponsored by a projector company that sells projectors. So all the projectors are great. Make sure you buy all of them. Okay? Thank you guys. I love you so much. I gotta go and put some more makeup and read my script. That creates the freaking problem. And that's the kind of cancer you got on YouTube going on right now. Because this kind of shit, it's allowed. So how can you be honest about telling me what's a good product, what's not a good product, if you're being sponsored by the company that sells that product? That creates the problem for me. If you want to have a sponsor, go ahead, have a sponsor, but make sure that is a sponsor that it's not associated with what you are all about. I don't care if you got a sponsor that sells pencils. Get a sponsor that sells pencils and has nothing to do with the TV. You know? So that's how I feel about that. But look, guys, this game looks beautiful. Getting back to the Forza Horizon, this looks beautiful on 930e. Yes, I recommend that you use the game mode. I use the game mode. And make sure that your slider it's set on the white bright levels and black digital levels, that is set equally balanced. Make sure you do that as well. Here we go. And I like how the season changes, man. This is pretty cool. Like right here, we're going to see season change as soon as we enter right here. Sony X900e is still a great TV. If you can find it for like $800, buy it. Or even $900, buy it. Now we are in spring. And also make sure that you guys write these settings down. Okay? These settings will only work for this TV. Remember, guys, that's why I do these settings. That's why I pause the video and I show you these settings. And you guys should do the same thing. Grab a pencil and paper, or pen or paper, and write these settings down. You know, pause the video, write settings down, and then go to your Sony X900e and use these settings. Alright, so this video is going to end pretty soon. Again, I'm sorry about addressing the elephant in the room. I'm sorry about me telling you all these things, but I had to address these elephants in the room. If I don't address them, then people are going to keep asking me about it. Again, I do this for you. Thank you, guys. I so much appreciate all your support and your love. Like I said, I do this for you. Okay, it's really about you. That's what it's about. It's about it's like Vin Diesel says, Facebook family, man. I mean, not Facebook family, YouTube family. YouTube family. You guys are my YouTube family. That's what this is about. YouTube family. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for my Tomb Raider videos tomorrow. That's coming up all day long. Thank you, guys. PC and the Xbox. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jigs. Thank you. Later.